My name is Franco Bongen, representing here at the United Nations headquarters in New York, Executive Director for Bright Light Projects. I am here to talk about the wonderful job by the government of Qatar as they prepare for the Second World Social Summit in November. From Copenhagen to Doha, 30 years ago, all the international community met at Copenhagen and they made specific commitments on how the world should progress in terms of economic development, social inclusion, and environmental protection. 30 years today, we are coming back to Doha in Qatar. What have we achieved so far? Are we better off 30 years ago or are we worse off? But let's see what the government of Qatar is doing as they prepare for this big human festival in November. They have made specific commitments, and I think it is worth emulating for other countries. Commitment number one from the government of Qatar, creating an enabling environment. No matter what you do, if you do not create an enabling environment, nothing will thrive. You can bring the best things to the worst environment, they will not grow. Qatar has done that. Commitment number two, eradicating poverty. When we talk about poverty, what are the benchmarks? How do we measure poverty? What have we done with poverty 30 years ago from Copenhagen to today? Is the world still better off? Do we still have children, billions of children in malnutrition? Do we still have infant mortality? Is Africa still bleeding with 50 billion worth of imported food from abroad? What progress have we made? Commitment number three, promotion of full employment. It's not about full employment, it's not enough, but it's about creating the jobs that will help to transform the local economy. We must be serious about our education. Our curriculum should provide the necessary shift from seeking jobs to seeking marketable opportunities. Qatar has done that. Commitment number four, promoting social integration. Yes, but how the poor women in the village, for rural women, cash transfers, how are they doing? Has technology come to deepen our inequality, or has technology come to provide us the necessary ingredients for everybody to be lifted up together? Social integration is very, very important. Commitment number five, achieving equality and equity between women and men. It is more talk about gender equality than action. What have we done since Copenhagen? One lady made a comment in one of the sessions that we're here at the UN. She said 80 years after the United Nations, she thinks it's time for a woman to be the Secretary General of the United Nations. Yes, I support her 100%. That's how we measure progress when it comes to women participation. In civic engagement, in the economy, in social integration, in energy. Commitment number six, promoting access to education and health services. Without education, we are doomed. But what kind of education are we giving our children? Because from the years of 5, the formative years to 12, that is where you build a nation. You don't build a nation when men and women have PhDs. No, we build it from the scratch. So what has Qatar done? Qatar has given us a blueprint that we must all follow. Commitment number 7, accelerating development in Africa and in the least developed countries. Every time you look at the index of, they call them heavily indebted poor countries, all we hear from them is malnutrition, is AIDS, is poverty. No, it's time to change the narrative from being obsessed with aid and poverty to be obsessed with what? Wealth creation and social integration. Number 8, aligning structural adjustment with social goals. We have a plethora of policies, but how are these policies reflecting and integrated at the local level? Development has a trigger effect from bottom to top and not from top to bottom. And at the bottom is where we have the social safety nets that provide the necessary ingredients for expanded growth, for macroeconomic theory to thrive. Commitment number 9, allocating resources for social development. Of course, it's all about resources. Without the necessary resources, without the necessary infrastructure, there's no way we can talk about social development. Social development is about how I thrive, how you thrive, and all of us thrive as an international community. Qatar has done that. Commitment number 10 is cooperating for social development. Of course, cooperation, collaboration is a new competition. There's no way we can thrive in silo. We must be able to come together, put our resources, look at our unique competitive advantage, and see how we can integrate and leverage from each other so we can grow as a community. Qatar, November 2025 will be like no other month. It will provide us the necessary ingredients for us to measure success at the social level. The United Nations is proud of this. The UNDESA, Development and Social Development, is proud of this. And the government of Qatar, of course, a wonderful job. And of course, I will not go without saluting this gigantic structure here. Again, thanks to the government of Qatar, the roadmap to Doha, roadmap to Qatar. It is time for us to write the new narrative. We'll be going to Qatar together as governments, together as civil society, together as international partners. It is time for us to come together and write a new narrative when it comes to social development. If we must grow together. But growing is not enough. Collaborating will provide all the necessary ingredients for sustained growth and collaboration. Signing off at the UN headquarters, Franco Bongan. Ciao.